Hello, this is Brett from Survivalcomms. And today I get the joy of connectorizing 34 NMO kits with mini UHF connectors. And I'm going to show you my process for doing all of these here. I have like an assembly line process, and the tools for doing the individual connectors, we just have a set of shears, a cable stripper, a crimping tool, and I have a set of end nips here. And I apologize for the sound in the background. We're having our hay cut today, so they're fluffing and baling it right now. So let's get started. So this is your standard unopened NMO antenna kit that would come with one of these radios. And the first thing I'm going to do is discard the instructions. And I'm going to open up each one of these kits and withdraw the components just like I'm doing here. We have our cable kit here with our mount. And then we have the 800 megahertz antennas, and these newer style of antennas right here are not good antennas, and we do not use these, so they will be discarded as well. And then we have our RF connector in here, and we have a couple of different seals and things of that nature. We have a packet of lube, which the installer should use. I'm not installing these antenna kits, and that's the reason why I'm connectorizing them. So when all the vehicles go out to have equipment installed in them, the installer is not going to have to bother with the RF connectors. Now, good news is that there'll be plenty of extra cable left to act as a service loop, because you have a lot of people, when they're left to their own devices, when they install an antenna kit in a vehicle, and I have a video on doing NMOs, and they install the thing banjo tight. You don't want to do that. You want to have at least 6 inches of a service loop whenever installing any kind of antenna kit. I prefer to have more. The problem is when you're dealing with 800 megahertz, you've got so much cable loss that, you know, this is like a 17-foot antenna kit, so you've got the loss of that in there when perhaps it only needs 6 foot of cable. However, this will allow the installer to just knock a hole in the vehicle roof, install the NMO kit, and then they can bundle up the cable wherever it's necessary, and they don't have to bother with connectorizing it, so I can make sure that the connectors are done correctly. Now, as far as the components we're going to remove from this bag here, we're just going to remove the RF connector, and I try to use just my scissors instead of tearing the bags open, because I pack everything in here. And then I'll just remove the RF connector kit, and I'll set that aside. So what we're doing is, and then we'll take this and place this back in this baggie here. Well, now that we've got that done, you can see we've got our stuff organized, and now we have some 1/4-inch glue-lined heat shrink, and I prefer heat shrink on the RF connectors at the very base of it. So we're going to go ahead and cut this up into 1-inch pieces of heat shrink. Let's go ahead and prep one. Grab one connector from inventory, and I work on one at a time. And I have a large workspace out here. So you have your different components. You have your center pin, you have your crimp shell, you have your knurled ring, and your connector body. Take your connector body and assemble it together. Take one of your cut sections of heat shrink. Look at your cable, find the end of your cable. I'm going to cut off about 2 inches of the cable, making sure it's as square as possible. Install my heat shrink, then my crimp shell. Now we're going to take our stripper, open it up, go on this end first, make sure it's squared up inside. Now turn this device, stripper, and then I'll pull it out, and you'll see your cable The center conductor is perfectly exposed, and we've removed the dielectric and the shield, and we've cut that nice and clean. Now we're going to take the opposite end, make sure it's in a straight position, insert it in here, and you push your cable inside as you're turning this, and it will come to a positive stop, just like that. You can see how it's removed our outer jacket. Now I take my shield and I fold my shield back. Take my center pin, place my center pin on. Taking our crimp tool here, slide it into here, make sure it's perfect. Execute a crimp, and you can see it's at the base of it where it should be, and it's good and tight. Go ahead and install your RF connector. Just like that. Make sure your knurled ring is up. And what I do is I give myself a little haircut down here at a 45-degree angle in relation to the body of the connector. And what this does is it makes sure that there's none of this braid is going to be prolapsed from that crimp ring. After that's done, take your crimp ring, slide it into place, take your crimping plier, apply a crimp, place your heat shrink on, and we will apply heat to this before we put it in the packaging, and we just have to repeat that 33 more times. Well, now we've completed connectorizing all our kits. We're just going to go ahead and heat shrink all the connectors, and then we'll go ahead and rebag them. Well, now that we've completed heat shrinking our connectors, I'll just take the connector and I'll shove it back in here, so when it's in the packaging, it's not going to get damaged. Now we're going to go ahead and bag our items. What's nice about removing the instructions and everything from the packaging is you can see all the items that are important: the nut, the NMO gasket, the antenna gasket, and your silicone lubricant at a glance. And then you just seal the package up, so that way whenever it's going to be used, you can be assured that it's got everything you need. And now our task is completed. If you have any questions about any of the equipment I used or any of the processes, please put it in the comments. I hope this helps. This is Brett from Survivalcomms. Until next time.